What's up, everybody? It's Kodak Kev back with another traveling video. This video is going to be some tips on how to stay safe while traveling. I've definitely done a decent amount of traveling in my little life so far. I'm only 25, but I've definitely gone a good amount of places and been in some interesting situations already in my life, but have definitely stayed safe the entire time and never really been in any too bad situations. So I guess we'll just dive right in. I think the biggest tip that I can give anybody who wants to travel, whether it's in the US or in Europe or wherever you may be wanting to go, is learn a little bit about navigation, maybe even a good amount about navigation. Compass courses will take you, they will teach you a lot, and they will help you so much. If you get lost a lot, if you're not good with even knowing where northeast, north and south and east and west are, a lot of the times you should maybe think about looking up compass courses in your area, or just places that will help you figuring out navigational skills a little bit better. If you know these navigational skills, pass them off to your kids so that it's easier for them. I've taken too many compass courses to even remember how many I've done, because I did camps growing up and Royal Rangers and stuff like that. So I think the biggest tip is to just get better at navigational skills before you do a lot of traveling where you may be going somewhere where you're really unfamiliar, that kind of has more dangers, because even big cities in America have some dangers that you want to be aware of. A big thing is to be self-aware, be conscious of your surroundings. I've taught some self-defense classes in my life, and one of the biggest things I can tell anybody to stay safe is to pay attention to what's going on around you. If whether there's two people about to get into a fight or whatever, keep yourself in a safe position. Keep yourself where you feel comfortable. Now, if you do get lost, say you're in one of these new places, you had done a lot of research, you still ended up getting lost, go into a store, go somewhere where there's a lot of people, because some of the bad people in this world will target you if they can tell that you may be lost or not really know what's going on around you. And try not to freak out and stay calm. No matter where you are, if you're in Europe or wherever, there's still good people. There's bad people, there's good people. You're going to be able to figure out talking to somebody, whether they actually know your language or not. You're going to figure out communication. It's not as scary as a lot of people think. A lot of people care to help you. They're even the locals, whether it's Italy, Amsterdam, no matter where you are, a lot of people are going to be willing to help you, or try to figure out what you may be telling them or trying to say to them. So do your research, try to know where you are or where you may be staying and where the places around you you're going, or that you're going to be going. Do that research before you leave, and know the routes, the main routes. Maybe look up where you're staying, if there's some iffy areas around where you're staying that you may not want to go that direction or whatever. Those are all good, just research stuff. A lot of stuff can help you before you even go somewhere. So compass courses, be self-aware, and if you do get into a position where you may feel uncomfortable, act confident. Be confident about what's going on. Don't be somebody who has, starts to freak out because you do get lost. It's not as big a deal as what a lot of people are making it. Getting lost, sometimes that's half the fun of being somewhere new. Getting lost isn't a big deal as long as you can stay confident of your surroundings and still being aware and paying attention of your surroundings. Now, a big one that people talk to me about before I even left, I'm in Ubud, Bali right now, and we traveled through Europe beforehand, a good amount of countries over there. A lot of people are like, oh, don't use Uber or this kind of thing, use a certified taxi. Personally, I feel more comfortable using the app services, because those people have to be certified through the apps to even use them. And anybody, honestly, in my opinion, can put a taxi sticker on their car and, oh, you want taxi, taxi? Especially like here when we got into Dempensar, every other person, oh, taxi, taxi, taxi. No, no, no. I've been using Gojek here, which has been really good. There's comments on every single driver we've used. We can tell, there's a picture of them. You know exactly who it's going to be. There was only one time where it wasn't the person that it looked like. It was a girl, and a guy showed up, and it was her little brother, and you could really tell it was just this young guy that was just filling in for his sister, and it was kind of funny, but it wasn't a bad situation, and I do feel safer using Ubers and stuff like that than I do, you know, if it's a big yellow taxi cab, yeah, it's probably a taxi, but there's a lot of cars, even through Europe, whether it's Amsterdam, Paris, Rome, where it's just a regular car with a taxi sticker, and I personally didn't want to get into any of those because, I mean, a lot of them don't even have credentials up or anything, and I don't recommend getting into any of those. I recommend doing research on how to get around before you get somewhere. In Europe, almost everywhere, there's, sorry I'm itching, there's a lot of bugs around me right now. There's a lot of metro services. Look up, you know, what city you're going to, use the metros, but also be aware of pickpocketing. One of the things people didn't understand when I got some of my stuff before I left is I got an old style leather backpack with clasps, with like hook clasps. Nothing with zippers. I didn't want anything with zippers. I also got a waist belt that I almost never take off, that holds my money, my passports. It's RFID shielded. If anybody doesn't know what that is, there's scanners that can pick up your credit card information nowadays, and it's really good to have an RFID shielded, whether it's a wallet for a woman or a purse, or there's even sleeves you can put your cards in, and those are really good. Like I said, I have a belt that I don't take off that has my passports, my IDs, my, you know, the credit cards we have on us, our money. I also keep money in my boots underneath my soles. In case anything crazy would happen, I would still be left with, there's a $100 bill in each one of my boots, and along with Abby's. So yeah, that's not a ton of money, but it would help you have something crazy happen. Not that, I think if you follow a lot of these tips, nothing crazy is probably going to happen. Get out of your fuck. And yeah, so I think those are some of the best basic tips. If you really still are worried after stuff like that, I totally would recommend doing self-defense classes for a decent period of time. I'll tell you right now that if you do a self-defense class for a short period of time, you're probably not going to know enough to actually defend yourself. That's the kind of stuff you need to stick to if you actually want to get good at it. There's a lot of different places that can help a lot of people with self-defense and being more comfortable with yourself, and just knowing that you're going to be safe, or that you can have basics of knowing how to at least get away. And I think those are just some good basic tips on how to stay safe, even if you're starting traveling. I think the biggest one is compass courses. Know how to navigate, whether you're in a city or in a wilderness or wherever. I think it's the most beneficial to be able to figure out navigation. I think it's a big skill that people lack nowadays, because our GPSs and our phones, yes, we do have a cell phone with us. It's through Verizon. We can use it daily. So it's $10 a day if we use it. We try not to use it because obviously that can add up really fast. So don't rely on Google Maps. Your phone can die, your phone can break, it could fall in water, whatever. You know, a map is going to get you so much farther than your cell phone if you actually learn how to read it and use a compass and just figure out where you're going. So I think those are probably the best tips that I could give you, and I hope that helps a little bit with people maybe feeling a little bit more comfortable traveling, whether it's in the US or wherever you may be. So I hope you guys have a great day. I hope this helps, and bye.